Welcome to Renovation Conversations, the podcast where we explore how God is rebuilding lives, restoring hope, and renewing faith. Whether you're just starting your spiritual journey or looking for inspiration to keep growing, this is the place for honest discussions, transformative stories, and practical biblical insights. Let's dive into what it means to live a life under renovation, because God's not done with us yet.
Well, here we are again with another episode of Renovation Conversations, another quick time with a few people from camp. These are our lifeguards. They are out there saving lives daily. Actually, we praise God that they haven't had to save a life today. That's always good.
Wait, not just today. Whole camp
the whole
so
camp.
far. Yeah, so
all
far.
Good.
Yeah.
And so you got Pastor Hayden over there on the far side. You got Karlie, and then you have Josie, and of course I'm Pastor D. And we just want to talk a little bit about what camps look like so far. We just ended kids camp today. It was Monday through Wednesday morning-ish. Now we're starting the middle school, high school camp. How do you guys feel so far?
Tired.
I feel good.
One has more energy than the other for sure.
I did take 2 naps today, so that's probably why.
You're tired because you took naps? That makes no sense.
Yes, it does, because when you sleep more, it's a proven fact. I'm not going to get into it.
These are college girls, by the way.
So I was going to say, the college is coming out, I can tell.
Highly educated and very not motivated.
That's true. Very true.
So what has been, you guys can just go, and it doesn't matter who goes first, but what's been your favorite part of camp so far?
I would probably say connecting with the kids, from all different backgrounds.
Yeah, that's good. And there's a lot of backgrounds.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mine's always going to be worship. I like it with the kids camp, and I love it with the teens camp. I am big into worship, so it's fun to do it with them and to watch them worship.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are built for it. You two are built for camp. I don't know if you know that. You guys might look at a career in camp, because when you guys get out there and worship with the kids, it really gets them going.
Because you guys
really
are
cool.
up in the middle of it,
yeah,
and they worship more because they love being around you guys. You guys bring energy and excitement.
Yep.
And the kids we love watching that with the kids. And first of all, you guys kind of bring energy and excitement to the adults too. Sometimes we're a little lame because we're old.
Yeah.
We know.
I know, right?
You're not lame. None of you guys are truly lame.
They don't hold back on us. No, but you guys do bring energy to the camp, and I love it because it helps us to stay motivated and pumped up and pushing forward, because camp's a long week. Mm-hmm. It's a long week. So you guys have been with us for a few years now. I mean, it's been a while.
Almost 6 years.
Yeah, a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this year's a little different. We're in another camp. We tend to go to campgrounds quite a bit.
And it's not because we get kicked out or nothing. It's just we keep moving with our size and what's available. So
people are probably thinking, it's because you guys
get
booted out of there.
You and that pink do-rag, I'm sure they're thinking we got booted
I totally
out of
forgot that I had that on until you just said that.
I didn't even notice it.
Hopefully none of them do either.
Yeah, I think they'll notice.
We're in too deep now, but all right, here we are. So you guys have grown with camp. I've watched you guys grow with camp. So when you're out there and you're doing that stuff, what's some of the funnest things that you get to interact with kids on so far, the interaction with kids? Give me some examples of some times you've got to pour into their life and it's made a difference in you. I know that's a big loaded question.
I'm just thinking.
I would say worship, because I feel like if anyone watches me, I'm very antsy and I'm moving a lot. And so I feel like me giving in my worship and just being all hype and stuff and seeing all the other kids mimic me and trying to do the same, I feel like that's how I see an instant thing is my worship. So I'm okay. And me going into the audience and grabbing kids that are quiet and they're dancing,
which does make a difference when you
So I would say
that.
That's what I would say.
Worship.
Last night, you're very good with the kids who are kind of scared to get into it. You're very good with bringing them kind of in the middle, and then once they're there, it's all of a sudden
now
they
they're
just
clicking.
let go and they're just having fun, and it's whoa, this kid that was in the corner is now out there dancing. Yeah. You're pretty good with that. For me, I think just kind of going throughout and meeting new kids is my favorite thing to do. Last night, there was a little girl who she was playing gaga ball, and I hadn't seen her all camp, and she said that she had kind of been more alone as in she didn't know who to find friends with. And then I was able to go help her find some friends that she made that night, and then she was able to hang out with them the whole time. Because I've been to a lot of camps, and I know what it's like to go and like be kind of reserved. Even though I know I'm not a reserved person, I have been to camps where I've acted reserved.
Sure.
And then once she was able to do that, I mean, it was really cool, and she was having fun the whole time because she was with us. Duh, she's gonna have fun. But
And they're super humble.
Yes.
oh yeah,
right.
sorry, so sorry.
But you're right though. Like, so we take for granted, like, it's a bunch of kids, they're gonna be fine. But it's still, they're still like got the nerves of like, oh my goodness, what are people gonna think of me if I do something wrong, or if I trip or get hurt, or if I get out, what are they gonna think of me? Yeah. It doesn't change from us adults. We do the same thing, we
Yes.
do differently.
Yeah.
But that's so important, is to reach out to them. I love that you guys do that, because I watch it when you guys are lifeguarding. I watch it when you guys are just playing games with them, and it's in places where I think probably like people like Hayden and I, whenever it reminds me and him to do those things, because sometimes we get so busy doing other things, it's easy to forget
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
the
small
most
things.
important things.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm glad you guys are here every year. I'm glad you guys show up. I'm glad you come do what you do. We need you guys, as long as we can work this out, we need you guys at camp, because you do bring a whole new element that we need in both kids and youth, because I know you guys we're just getting started on youth, but I know you guys are going to mentor kids while you're here.
Yes.
And what I do love about you two, I've watched both of you find the ones that are by themselves. And you both are really good at that. And so I want to say thank you for you guys showing up, do what you do.
Absolutely.
No, thank you guys.
It's an encouraging thing. So I'm going to ask one more question. So if you, out of all the camps we've been to together, what has been a moment that has like changed kind of how you do things, and how that changed your walk a little bit? And it doesn't have to be this camp. It could be any camp you've gone to. Like give me a moment. I know it's like a loaded thing. Like, you've been to a lot of camps. But a moment that changed it up, because somebody may be listening thinking, whoa, I never realized that could have at a camp. You never know what people are going to see and hear. And
Okay, well, mine might be a little different, but like you did say, I have been to a lot of camps and a lot of different like cultures of camps. And I think my very first camp with you guys, it was the first camp for Innovation, right? The one we were with?
I think so, yeah.
Probably.
I think so, because we were like, we need a lifeguard.
So the very first one I was with you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, but I brought skirts. Do you remember that?
I do remember
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I brought literal skirts and church outfits because I was like, I'm going to need these for chapel time. And then chapel time came around and everybody was still in their shorts, and some like in kind of like their bathing suits, but then their t-shirts over them. And I was like, what is happening? Why is nobody in skirts? Like, this is
I totally remember
okay.
that.
I was like, yes, because I had to bring skirts too. And I
brought her skirts. I was like, Karlie, you have to wear them. You have to. It's a rule. And I mean, that's what I'm getting to, is the rule. I mean, obviously you're going to have camp rules. But here in, Renovation, I love how it's so, I don't want to say laid back because that's like the wrong term.
Right.
But we don't focus on that kind of stuff here. Like, we don't care if you going to wear, I wore the skirts and no one sat there and judged me.
Take them as they are.
Yeah, but I didn't have to do that. And so something I really noticed with this church camp was it did not matter how I came, what I was wearing, what I looked like, what I was doing within reason. Like, everybody still loved me. Everybody still vibed with me. Like, we were all just having one big happy Jesus party, and I really, really liked that, because I have been to some church camps where there's so many rules that you have to follow that I don't feel like focuses on the real meaning of why you should be at church camp.
Awesome. I
That's
love
good.
that.
I
Thank you for
agree.
sharing that.
Hashtag locked in. But mine is a little different. I feel like mine's a little deeper. I don't know if it was because my first church camp was you guys, and I was, whoa, there's a lot of different things.
that was your first church camp.
Ever church camp was this one. And so I think it's cool, and I can like see myself grow throughout the years. But I want to say maybe the last year one shook me differently, because it just hit a lot closer to home. And that's when I realized I needed to rededicate my life. Because I was just like, I always thought, like, I'm good. I'm, say at a young age, everything's fine. But like going to that church camp, I felt like everything I kind of pushed to the side was all coming to light, because there's random people that don't know me was telling me stuff that I was like, how do you know this? Like, get away from me, stranger.
No, and that was the
Leave.
cool part. It was kids.
Yes,
like
kids.
it's not just the counselors pouring
Yeah.
into the kids. It was
Yeah.
the kids pouring into the counselors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was why one of the reasons why you decided to do that, because all the kids were praying over you and talking with you,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is just
So good.
awesome.
Yeah, and
So
I was
good.
like, okay, well,
That's
preach,
the
I
thing,
guess.
you know, it goes back to what she said and stuff. You know, it doesn't matter the clothes and stuff. What matters is people's having a change of heart while they're here.
Amen.
Growing closer to the Lord. And we had a leader rededicate her life at kids camp.
Right.
Maybe
We'll say
she-
rededicate, but
she
might
says
possibly
rededicate,
be-
but she also said maybe a first time. So that's okay. I mean, that's awesome. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
I mean, I highly encourage people if they have a question about their salvation, pin it down, get that nailed down.
Walk
right
in
now.
confidence.
Yeah.
And I love that you say that, because I think sometimes we think, well, we're going to church camp. It's all about the kids.
Yeah.
Well, we are pouring into the kids, but all of us are going to change if we're pouring into the kids like we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we're doing that, all of a sudden God's going to be like, hey, we need to work on this in your life.
Yeah, for sure.
And we got to be willing to say, all right, you're right. This has to change. And I think every one of us have been through that. I love that you shared that. That's boldness. I love it. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I'm excited for this camp. It's going to be good.
Absolutely. We've had several graduate the last couple of years, so we kind of have a fresh group. It's Pastor Tucker's. He's moved to a new church of ours. We just planted, so he's the senior pastor. He's the camp. What do they call it? Campus pastor, whatever we call it. That was all the names. He's a pastor
many
over
names.
there.
Whatever.
He's a pastor at that church. So he's doing that one, and he's going to be moving over there after this camp to start a youth group over there. So this is kind of his last one over all of it. I'm sneaking back in, but I'm so excited. I never get old, right? Just keep me young.
Restarting.
But it excites me
That
because
explains the pink do-rag, right?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Kind of look like a biker.
Yeah. Ball-headed one.
Yeah,
I don't know about all that, but I appreciate people like you too, because you help me to remember what it's like to connect with people younger than me. And it's not an age thing; it's about Jesus.
Yeah.
And we should always have that. It doesn't matter if we're 10, 20, 60, whatever it is. I mean, you can be holding Hayden over there, and
Yeah, right.
and you should still be pressing in, because we should love each other and care for each other. You guys remind me of that, to step in. Don't be afraid of who you are, who God's made you to be, and I love that. It brings the diversity of our youth group.
Absolutely.
But I mean, props to you guys too, because I mean, we look up to you guys. So like, little kids look up to us, and we look up to you. And so I feel like a lot of my growth, and Josie's too, our growth all came from you guys. And so like, looking at, like, obviously marriage is far, far away, but looking at like how you guys are married, I'm like, I want that, I need that. And so like, I feel like the little kids looking at us, they're like, that's the person that I want to be. And so I feel like some part of you guys is like passing down to us, and we're passing that part down. It's like a continuous,
Discipleship working the way it's supposed to be.
Wow, it's
It's just
exactly.
awesome.
So cute.
I love it.
Don't
It's
cry,
like
Josie.
biblical discipleship, all
Listen.
explained by Carly.
Carly is much deeper theologically than Josie.
Yes, that was deep.
I'm over
Josie's
here
like
about to cry because I'm
Bible
like, you guys are so cute.
Deep.
Whatever.
Jesus
Listen, we
loves
have a
you,
great time with these two, because they
Yes.
are absolutely fun, but they love Jesus, and it's amazing.
Yep.
So they encourage me, because it's the reminder that you can still enjoy life and love Jesus. Those two things can coexist.
Yes.
I think some people look at church and they're like, I can't have fun and
I
be
got
a
to bring my
Christian."
skirt.
Unless you go to renovation. Oh. You don't need the skirt though.
That's good, because I'm not wear a do-rag, but I ain't wearing a skirt.
Try it once.
Well, I appreciate you guys spending some time with us.
Yeah.
This was great. Pastor Hayden and I really appreciate it. And we just thank you guys. I know this last half of camp is going to be the teen side, so it's going to be a little more intense in the scripture and that, because as you get older, you have to get a little more into it. So it's going to be good. And I just thank you guys for coming in here, hanging out with Pastor Hayden and I, and for all those you listen out there. Get involved in church. It doesn't matter where you're at in your walk. Get involved.
Yep.
It'll make a difference right where you're at.
100%.
Yep.
All right. Love you guys. Have a great day.
See you guys.
Bye.
God is always at work in you, restoring, renewing, and rebuilding. Thanks for listening to Renovation Conversations. Like and share, and we'll see you next time.